Also note, while we're at it, we just got off the phone with Lynn Ryan, the chairman of the Republican Party, and she indicated that I haven't talked to the chairperson of the Democratic Party, but indicated that she will have a couple watchers here for the duration of the recount. Just want to note that had that conversation.
And I believe that will happen also from the Democratic Party.
Yeah, we've already got. We already got there. So yeah,
Their list is ready to go.
I think for the benefit of our friends from the media, I assume they may know it already, but the Department of State indicated that it was our responsibility to notify the Democratic and Republican county chairs of this recount. So we have adhered to the guidelines set forth by the Commonwealth.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Approval of minutes from November 1, 2021, which was our last meeting. I'll give my colleagues a minute to check those over and take a motion to approve the minutes or make any necessary expedient changes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, I'm sorry. It was delayed reaction. I'm sorry.
Good. From November 2nd, 2021, general election, all of the races with the exception of the Pennsylvania Commonwealth Court recount, which was ordered, Dan, as you mentioned, by the Pennsylvania Secretary of State. So this is the Supreme Court, Superior Court, the City Council race, the Township Supervisor races, Borough Council races, Auditor, Tax Collector, and all of the Judge of Election, Inspector of Elections, et cetera. Borough Mayors, School Board.
County ones too as well.
The Register.
Register Recorder, Sheriff, District Attorney,
Right.
and Control.
Those unopposed, right?
Yeah.
Those as well. Okay.
Yeah, so it's everything except Commonwealth Court. Tim, these results have been audited and we found no outstanding findings in those audits, correct?
None, no. I did a 2% audit, it came out perfect. So, yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with what we got here.
And may I note that 2% audit is required by the election, by the Commonwealth's election code, and that's performed every year.
Every year, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments?
Mr. Chairman, maybe I'm jumping ahead here, but in looking at the proposed resolution, number 3, that's in our packet, it indicates that we are certifying the results, but it does not stipulate in the resolution that these results exclude the Commonwealth Court race. And I'm wondering if we should amend the resolution as written to make note of that fact.
Yeah, we
Unless
should.
I'm missing something.
No, we should.
Okay.
So to that end, we wanted to say that the resolution right now reads, whereas pursuant to Pennsylvania Election Code, Lawrence County Board of Elections is required to certify the results of the general election held on November 2nd, 2021. Whereas Tim Germani and Susan Kite, Lawrence County Elections Deputy Directors, provided to the board that all votes have been counted. Therefore, be resolved, Lawrence County Board of Elections is hereby certify the results of the general election held on November 2nd, 2021. We want to add with that comma, with the exception.
Except for, right where we have on our agenda, except for the Pennsylvania Commonwealth Court recount as ordered by the Pennsylvania Secretary of State. That same sentence that is on our agenda.
Yep.
I think, yeah. Do we need a motion for that? Or are we good to just do it?
We
because didn't vote on it?
haven't made the formal,
Mhm.
so we'll just call that the resolution.
Good.
And then I'll take a motion to accept, or to approve resolution 2021-03, with the language as noted.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. Chris, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spillvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And with that, all those races are certified. Congratulations to the
So
winners
the winners.
of all the municipal elections, of the countywide races and of the statewide races, which have been decided.
Yes.
I know we have a bunch of old faces, but we also have a number of new faces joining our local governments. We're certainly excited at the county level to serve with you, and are here to support each and every
Yes.
one of you in any means that our office can. Tim, is there anything else of note today?
Just the recount.
Which
The
will start
recount will
Yes.
start at 10. We will start a recount of the absentee mail-in ballots, which we have to do on the precinct scanners, because you can't scan on the same equipment.
Because that's part of the order,
That is,
is that they be scanned on the opposite machines they
Yes.
were first
Yes.
scanned on.
so we're gonna start that today, and seeing that we have till the 23rd to finish this, I wanted to split it up in 2 days. That way there'll be less confusion going on. So today we will count the mail-in ballots, and I have 6 precinct scanners, 6 DS200s. I have 6 scanners. When I say scanners, I mean people scanning ballots. They're getting ready to do it now as soon as we're done with the meeting. And then tomorrow at 8, I will scan the election day ballots on our 3 450s that we have in the IT room. Then that should finish up the recount.
2 things. Number one, correct me if I'm wrong, we have a constable watching over the scanning when it starts at 10, right? So there is security on
He's
site.
there right now watching the ballot boxes.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Second question, when these results are finalized, when we have the results of the recount, when do we need to reconvene to certify those results?
I have to get something to the state by the 24th, so we'll have to do it as soon as we can.
24th, let me see what date that is. But I know my colleagues are gonna be at.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
it's before noon. It's at-
Before noon
yeah.
on the 24th.
Well, in that scenario, because I know that you're both gonna be away at CCAP, would it be possible to try to schedule, I don't know what the conference schedule looks like, would you both be available to call in by phone, or will you be back in time?
We'll be back, we get back Tuesday.
Oh, we'll be back Tuesday night.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we'll be here, but I don't know if we can certify.
But let me ask this, I'm hoping to wrap this all up by Thursday. What about if I get it done on a Friday, this coming Friday?
Friday of this week.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that if we wanna
Yeah,
schedule
because I don't
something.
think there's an issue with certifying to the state before the 24th.
yeah.
I think we can do that
Yeah.
as long as
Okay.
that's the drop dead last.
That's the last.
Yeah, so
So,
Okay,
if we can do that, that's my goal.
You would have to, unless I am mistaken, if you wanted to meet this Friday, you've got to put a public
Right.
notice via the sunshine law. Does that give you enough time to do it?
Yes.
I mean, I'm okay with next Wednesday morning.
I'm fine with that as well, because do you not have to, will you have to do a separate audit of that
I have not,
vote? Is that, I
you
mean,
mean like another 2% from that?
Mhm.
I don't believe so. I wasn't informed of that, so
Okay.
I think once.
well,
it's-
we know how those things go.
That we do.
Oh, by the way, we want you to do this now.
Believe me, I just got a document
Did
of
you- another
46 pages of what constitutes a vote. So I have that on here.
I would rather wait, I mean, if that's okay, until Wednesday, just to make sure that there aren't any other
That-
directives that come through that we have to go back and do
Sure.
something.
Sure, because
If
an
that's
appeal
okay.
could be happening on this as well, so we have also been said that.
Probably will have.
You might,
Um,
so that's fine with me, whatever the board can do. I'll, like I said, my goal is to wrap this up by the end of this week, so.
I would be amenable to Wednesday.
On the schedule?
Nothing. To do maybe 9:00 on Wednesday.
That's
Work for me.
Work, yeah.
Yeah.
Good work.
Okay, see how things go the rest of this week with getting everything done,
Yes.
and then you can get something,
Yes,
you have to get it in for
Yeah,
Saturday or Monday's paper.
If you guys be able to prep that advertisement.
Good thinking.
yeah,
Let's just get that
okay.
and we'll shoot for Wednesday at 9:00 to certify the results of the Commonwealth race.
Let me add that yesterday I conducted logic and accuracy test.
This is for the
Again,
machines.
yes, yeah, again, and everything was
What was that magic
perfect,
number?
right, I showed Loretta
Yes.
before she left. everything
I'm just
worked out
nosy.
fine. So I did test the machines again as well to make sure that the accuracy of the votes counted right on it.
Yes. And we do have a tech person from ES.
I do,
that is
yes,
there. Yeah,
yes.
so I think every base has been covered and
I believe so.
She drove here from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Thought that was interesting. She said it took about a 5-hour drive to get here. Very nice person.
Yes.
And she'd been here before.
she's been here before.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
Very good.
Am I in order to speak? Thank you. Just two things on my end, and perhaps this is more for Debbie and Nick's benefit, and maybe you folks have already chatted about this, but the folks from the media are permitted to monitor or view or watch anything that's going on in there. Is that correct?
I don't see a
It's
problem with
be
that.
no different than on election night,
Mhm.
Right, I mean,
So-
I have an area set up for
Yeah.
everybody to observe, so it's. I don't know.
If either of you want to watch part of it, all of it, none of it, we certainly would welcome that. And then secondly, just noting for the record, Tim, I believe you have spoken with President Judge Motto to make him aware that this process is going on in the event we would need, which probably is an unlikely event, but the judge is aware that this is happening in the
Yes.
event we would need to consult with the courts.
Yes, he said he's on call. All I gotta do is give him a phone call, so.
Great, and we're anticipating that today's process will be wrapped up during normal operating hours.
That's a good call, yeah.
Yeah, knock on wood.
We have to, remember, we have to look at overvotes, undervotes, so those will get kicked out of the machine, and I'll need, the board to examine them.
Did we, and I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes,
Did we find out, is it the resolution board, which is Commissioner Boyd
Right.
and Commissioner Spielvogel, or is it the Board of Elections, or do we not know yet?
Board of Elections,
It's all three. Okay.
unless you designate people.
Right.
No, I'll be around in
Well, why don't we, what do we have on the schedule for today? I think we just have prison.
prison board.
right,
at noon.
yeah.
Why don't we, for anything that happens today, would you both be around at 2:00?
Be around most of the day.
Yeah.
So why don't we, if there's any undervotes or overvotes, why don't we reconvene in this room at 2:00 to go over anything that, any undervotes or overvotes that there might be?
So I'll quarantine those, and then we'll examine them later.
Yeah, 2:00.
Okay. All right.
Good.
Yeah, sure, that's fine with me.
Sounds good. Is there anything else for anybody? I will take a motion to recess to the call of the chair,
Here.
and to reconvene at 2.
Question.
What do you got?
Can you explain undervotes and overvotes?
Undervotes, or as if it's a vote for 2 for this particular office, say somebody only voted for 1, that would be an undervote. Or voted for nobody in that office, that is an undervote. An overvote is if you vote for more than what is called for that particular office. So if they voted for 3 candidates and a vote for 2, that will be an overvote. That will not be counted. Undervotes are counted.
Okay, and how many ballots are there mail-in and absentee that you're going to count today?
Today, I got 4,288 mail-ins that I'm gonna count today. Then tomorrow, I got 13,486.
Those are at the polls, but
That was I call it election day.
so those mail-ins include absentees,
Absentee mail-in, yes.
what about military?
Military is separate, that'll go, it will fall into that category, but I think we had 4 militaries to count. We'll count those by hand, as well as the 2 provisionals that were turned in. We'll count those by hand as well.
There are only 2 provisionals in the whole election.
The whole election. I believe there were 19 handed in,
Mhm.
but only 2 came in with ID.
IT.
So those were the only ones I could count.
There are 6 calendar days that the voter has to come in to the elections office with their ID to have the provisional ballot tabulated. And of the 19, only 2
2
came.
came. As well as 22 naked ballots that were handed in as well. That we could not count those.
What are those?
Those are the ones that were sent in without the secrecy envelope. We would know that ballot, who voted that particular ballot because their name was on the front of the envelope, so.
Those were mail-ins.
Those were mail-ins, yes.
All things considered, when you're looking at how many people voted,
Mhm.
that's not bad.
That's not bad, no, but
And actually, on that point of interest, the reason that we know we're not allowed to count those ballots is because that has been adjudicated,
Mhm.
actually, at the state Supreme Court level. Interestingly enough, that case
Yes.
actually started
Started here.
in Lawrence County, where this Board of Elections said, hey, we're, based on our reading of the law, we're not allowed to count these ballots. In this particular instance, the Democratic Party disagreed with us. They filed a lawsuit against the Board of Elections. That lawsuit was withdrawn as it relates to naked ballots, and then filed again, I believe it was directly at Commonwealth Court level.
I think so. I think that's why the other one was withdrawn, because it was going to be filed.
And then it got up to the Supreme Court, and
And they upheld.
they upheld what we originally decided, which I think is
Yes.
pretty remarkable. Such a small county
Yeah.
could be able to start something that's statewide.
And at that time, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there were several hundred of them. Because it was the first time for the mail-in.
there was
Ballot.
more, I wanna say there was
Okay,
almost
there-
400.
Okay, all right, I thought I was not remembering
Well, more
correctly.
than that, but yeah.
It was quite a few compared to within a year difference,
Yes.
or maybe 18 months, that it went down to 22. I think that's great.
Yes,
So you can remember people voting this time, so.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was our percentage turnout in the general this year? 30-something, wasn't it?
31.75%.
32% turnout.
Yep, I had a total registered voters of 55,980. The total ballots cast was 17,776. It's a nice number.
1776. Right, yeah.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
I will, at this point, recess the meeting to call the chair. At the latest, we'll be getting back together at 2:00 today to examine overvotes and undervotes.
Excellent.
Board of Elections is recessed.
Thank you. Very good.
Got to sign anything for this?
Let's get that
Yeah,
amended.
we'll get that,
with the
yeah.
Ah, gotcha,
Take care of
gotcha.
doing that.
Okay, very good,
Yes.
because
Uh-huh.
I gotta know.
Well,
Yeah. Mhm. Just go to it, Timmy.
Yeah.
It does